It reminds me of a crime we have here in Pennsylvania called death by delivery. And that's where drug dealers who give people drugs and they voluntarily take it, and they take it and they buy it, and they die, the drug dealer gets charged with death by delivery. And I've seen drug dealers do 5 years in state prison on a charge like that.
Okay, but we don't routinely do that when the nurse gives the wrong drug in a hospital. That's called a malpractice.
Key word you said, in a hospital. No approved home use here.
On the other hand, Jeff, we have charged, as you well know, when that male nurse went around the angel of death and killed people. Well, we certainly charged him. Well, there was mouse. This was a guy who was crazy. But even in a controlled environment like a hospital,
you don't think
there
this
are
doctor
individuals
intended to kill Michael, do
no,
you?
Of course he didn't intend to kill Michael.
So now, do you think this was passion, provocation for him?
No.
So what is it, if anything, manslaughter and maybe malpractice?
This doctor's bedside manner, and when I say that, I mean this. The people that he's nice to on the way in Michael Jackson's house that he greets, the way he greets them is going to come back to haunt him. If he's real nice, they're going to take it real easy on him in the witness stand. They're going to talk to the defense attorney's investigator in a favorable way. If he treated everybody like a moron and pushed them out of the way, I'm the doctor here, I'm a big shot, I'm making 150 grand a month, then that's going to come back to haunt him, because they got to prove that he's the one that did this, and he's the only one that did this, because it's a criminal case. And they got to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt that he did it and what his intention was.
But remember, again, here's a doctor giving big-time narcotic-type drugs for 150 grand a month. That's a drug dealer. That's a drug dealer, in my opinion.
It's also Los Angeles County.
I'm going to break in here because I do want to know what our viewers at home think about this tragic story. Anyway, you look at it, it is a tragedy. How would you answer these questions? Do you think Michael Jackson was in fact murdered? And do you think that this Dr. Conrad Murray, is responsible for his death? Or are you one of those who blames the superstar for his own demise? Do you say, hey, he insisted on taking these drugs and the doctor just kind of facilitated it a bit? If you want to join in and tell us what you think, you can email me your thoughts or your opinions a couple of different ways. Go to csnphilly.com and then put in It's Your Call or IYC under the search. That'll take you to my webpage where you can leave me a comment. Or if you'd like, you can email me directly here at tcn_IYC at cable.comcast.com. Where most people are finding us these days seems to be on Facebook, MySpace, or YouTube. As you can see throughout the show, we've been sharing some Facebook comments with you, and for the most part people feel that the doctor should be held accountable, but it's not necessarily a case of homicide. Turning to the prosecutors once again, why would the LA Coroner's Department have to label it a homicide? Does it have the option or the alternative to list manslaughter, second degree, or is it either homicide, suicide, or accidental?
Exactly.
That
it's
is
the
correct.
latter, not the former.
Sure.
They can't grade the act. Okay, all they can say is either this was an accidental death, natural causes, or a homicide.
Or self-inflicted.
Right. Or suicide.
So if you were a defense
Homicide is an
attorney,
unnatural killing. It's not a suicide.
Right.
It's not a suicide. It's a homicide. It's inflicted by someone else. Someone else aided him in meeting his demise.
Well, that's not exactly true, because you have medical malpractice cases. It happens all the time as well. So there is a decision by the coroner that there's something here more than just malpractice. But I think that's done.
Evidence that he did not inflict the drugs onto himself.
The fact that it's not charged doesn't matter, because it's an unnatural killing.
It's not really a homicide.
Right.
We'll leave it there.
Well, that's where
they should make more things illegal.
there's not enough illegal in this country.
He's looking for work.
No, it's a bad economy. It's a bad economy.
Okay. On that note, we are going to take a short break, but as always, we always invite you to be part of our conversation. You can email us and let us know what you think. And if you have a question or a comment for any of our panelists, we always forward those comments to them, and they are very gracious in addressing all of them. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more of your thoughts from Facebook and other social media sites telling us what you think about Michael Jackson's death.
Lynn Doyle's jewelry provided by David Craig Diamonds and Fine Jewelry, Newtown, Pennsylvania.
Transportation for It's Your Call guests provided by Preferred Car and Limousine.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Lynn Doyle. This is It's Your Call, and we are talking about the recent revelation by the LA Coroner's Department that it has named Michael Jackson's death as a homicide. It has declared it a homicide. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone murdered him, but that what it does mean is that it was not self-inflicted, it was not an accident, that kind of thing. So we're giving you the opportunity to share your opinion with us and tell us if you hold his doctor accountable for his death, or if you think that the superstar led to his own demise. I'm going to tell you, you can email us at any time, and you can find us on Facebook and give us your thoughts there as well. Got a great panel here talking about that. What I'd like to do now is kind of construct the prosecution and the defense if this case moves forward. For example, if you were, the two of you, were prosecuting Dr. Conrad Murray, where do you start? How do you establish either a motive or an opportunity or a reason that he should be charged with homicide?
Well, first of all, he has the opportunity because he's there 24/7. He is the personal physician. He is getting paid to administer
a lot of money,
a lot of money to see to this patient's every single whim.
So isn't it in his best interest to keep this guy alive so the money keeps coming in?
Not necessarily, because when your patient is begging you for drugs in order to keep your job, you're going to keep administering those drugs. Now, the logical person says, yeah, we want to keep him alive, but you know what? There comes a point in time when it's just too much drugs and the heart stops functioning, the liver stops functioning, the kidneys stop functioning.
And the doctor ceases being a doctor. That's the whole point. He's not a doctor anymore. He's just simply a drug dealer. Because he's not a doctor anymore. A doctor knows better. This doctor knows he can't give these drugs without having certain equipment, but he does it anyway.
He told investigators that he, in fact, was trying to wean him off of this drug because he knew how addictive it could be and how powerful it was.
Look, Lynn, you asked some key questions. How do we prepare this case? One of the key things we're going to do is, as a prosecutor, we're going to want to go over witness statements and interview people. We want to know what people in the house said. We want to also go to other doctors and other experts out there who would examine the medical records, examine the conduct of this doctor, and look at what he did and give us their medical opinion that this is just not acceptable practice.
And for this physician to say, I'm trying to wean this individual off this medication because he's going on a major tour and we can't put him in rehab. Yet when you look at the timeline and you see the quantity and the quality of drug that is being administered almost around the clock, it doesn't add up.
And Lynn, I think
it really depends on what he has said, though. If he has gone overboard and said that he's the one that got him addicted, which I doubt he did, then you got a real problem. But if he says, this is the mess that I inherited, he hired me on this date, he was already addicted, and I was trying to wean him as his personal physician, then that's a defense. If he's trying to literally coach him and be a doctor one-on-one and to get him away from this, that could be a defense.
But there's problems.
And it's certainly mitigation.
There's serious problems with that defense.
When you have the type of pain from a scalp burning or an eye injury or anything on the head with all those nerve endings, you have to have a doctor with some compassion. If your personal physician has no compassion, you're going to get another personal physician.
Chuck, here's the problem with this.
Just let me finish.
Sure.
If he inherited this problem and is in fact trying to help him get off the medication, that is a defense.
Well, Chuck, here's the problem with that theory. The problem with that theory is, well, where is the life-saving equipment that you have to have when you use this drug? Where's the respirators and the ventilators and all this equipment, knowing that you're going to wean someone off and using a drug that has no home-approved use?
Once again, we only know
where is that equipment?
We don't know if he has those abilities. We don't know how. What's in that medicine bag?
And the 20 to 90-minute delay to call an ambulance? Come on.
$150,000 a month, hire a consult. Hire a consulting physician. Hire a board-certified anesthesiologist.
Yeah, hire an anesthesiologist.
You know, the quality of a good gas passer is not putting you to sleep. It's being able to wake you back up again.
Good point, Sadie. Hire an anesthesiologist. That's exactly right.
This war is going to be fought on the difference between negligence